Greetings YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Provence, southern France, and today I plan to take you on a ride to the Pont Du Gard, if that's how you say it, which is an ancient Roman aqueduct. I can't wait. Let's have it. Well, it's a gorgeous sunny day. I love it, and I was having a little panic about getting off of the driveway there. It probably didn't show up on the camera at all, but it was quite steep, probably not quite 45 degrees, but getting on for that. And there was a lip halfway up the driveway as it went through the gate, and a camber off to the side, and I had nowhere to go when I get to the top. I had to turn. I'm making that all sound very dramatic, but I was quite concerned. Chris Birch would hang his head in shame. Anyway, off to the Pont Du Gard. So information, if I can remember it, about the Pont Du Gard is it's 275 metres long, 38 or 48.8, I'll put it up on the screen if I'm wrong, 48.8 metres high. It used to carry the water to Nîmes for the Roman colony. It was built, now this is the amazing thing, it was built between 40 and 60 AD. And when I show you it later, you're going to see the amazing architecture of the structure. And you know, these people constructed it without spirit levels, without laser sighting, none of the groundworks that we have today. And it cost somewhere in the region of 30 million, whatever the currency was back then. Bonjour. I think it's quite amazing. I'm really looking forward to it, and if it's warm enough, people even tend to swim in the river down at the bottom of the bridge. Sorry about this commentary, I'm just concentrating a little bit. Anyway, I had a little wander around this village, which I'm going to pronounce incorrectly. It's where I'm been staying this last week. Erigu, something like that, I don't know. We've been calling it Irags. And it's very quiet, there's not a lot here. Came for a wander into the village yesterday, mid-afternoon, to buy some pastries and stuff like that, and everywhere was shut, which seems to be the pattern in France, but it's all good. It's quite cold this morning, but the air is very clear. Lots of gorgeous smells. I smell lavender quite often. There's lots of lavender fields around. And it's currently mid-April now. I was going to say early April. It's not. It's mid-April. It was early April when I arrived in France, and it seems to be a really good time to come because it's quite empty everywhere. Those passes, the gorge roads that I rode last week, I had them to myself. In August that just wouldn't be the case. And when we kayaked on the Verdon River in the gorge, the guy that we hired it from told us that in the summer we'd queue for 3 hours to get the kayak, whereas we just strolled straight up, got it. It's not that far from where I'm staying to the Pont Du Gard. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. 22 miles to go. But what a gorgeous day to be riding. The light is fantastic. It's very clear. I don't think there's a lot of pollution around here. Probably very different if you're riding around Paris or something. I hope you can hear me. I've got the microphone from my phone tucked inside my helmet, which hopefully cancels out some of the wind noise, but it is windy. Again, all these roads just seem to be made for bikers. I was about to say they're really smooth. This one's not so smooth. But most of them are really smooth. They've got amazing twisty curves through them. Quite a lot have adverse cambers, which isn't great, but as long as you're concentrating, it's fine. Sure, that's probably olive trees. All the leaves have been coming out this week. It's like spring is kind of awakening and all the leaves are unfurling and sprouting. Flowers are starting to put in an appearance. Have I got the right of way? I'm never quite sure. What a beautiful day. Is that turning? Yes it is. They both are. Okay, fine. So glad I got myself this Nav 6, the BMW Nav 6. It's been a godsend. If I was trying to do this with my phone, first of all I wouldn't be filming because, as I've mentioned quite a few times, I don't have a GoPro yet. I am going to get one. I will invest. I should also invest in a drone at some point because there's just too many good footage opportunities that get missed, especially when you're in the mountains. But I'm doing the best I can. Bear with me, guys.
On, man, I'm long gone, tearing down this dirt road like a Mustang. Swan song, fire in my veins, and it's always there. Hell, I'm about as safe as a grizzly bear. I ain't looking for a reason to believe. Don't need a city, I belong to the country, living my life like a tailgate party. One-way ticket to the promised land. I got my heart on my sleeve and a jack in my hand. I'm American made, honey, through and through. When I dream red, white, and blue, just like you. Well, I'm a wild-eyed, hog-tied, juke joint kind of guy, fist fight waiting to be. Well, I'm a good time, real fine, straight from the dark side. Honey, lay your money on me. I was born in the country. I'll be your best friend, baby, till the bitter end. Just like your blue jeans on me, your candy pen. I'm American made, honey, through and through. When I bleed red, white, and blue. Just like you. Well, I'm a wild-eyed, hog-tied, juke joint kind of guy, fist fight, waiting to be. Well, I'm a good time, real fine, singing from the dark side. Honey, lay your money on me. I was born in the country. Skies, fireflies, mama's homemade apple pie, freedom in the shape of a truck. Straight from the dark side, honey, lay your money on me. Well, I'm a wild-eyed, hog-tied, juke joint kind of guy, fist fight, waiting to be. Well, I'm a good time, real fine, straight from the dark side, honey, lay your money on me. I was born in the country.
So apparently there's been pretty much a drought in this area for the last 6 months. They've hardly had any proper rainfall at all. When we were kayaking the Gorge de Verdun, we were told that we wouldn't manage to get up anywhere near as far as we usually would because the water level was so low. To be fair though, we got as far as we could before the current stopped us getting any further. Just weren't strong enough to get further up the gorge. And the owners of the villa we've been staying this week told us that there's sort of a swimming pool ban in place and a hosepipe ban. I don't think they're allowed to refill their pools, so he said if we use it, which we have done a few times even though it's been really cold, he said if you use it you have to make sure you don't splash around so much to make sure you preserve the water. See past this. Also noticed that a lot of the vineyards that we've passed, all of the vines look incredibly bare. There's hardly any leaves or anything on them. Whether they're supposed to be at this time in the season or not, I don't know. But it all looks very dry. Having said that, there's still greenery around. Just start to feel the warmth of the day break through. Hopefully there's going to be an opportunity to pass this tractor at some point. Hopefully it's not going all the way to the Pont Du Gard. Otherwise it's going to be a very long 14 miles. And the nice thing to do would be to pull over and allow the traffic that's building up behind to get past. Maybe the etiquette's not the same in France, I don't know. But that's certainly what would happen in the UK. I'm surprised to see a lot of Lidls and Aldis here as well. Obviously the budget supermarkets are thriving everywhere, courtesy of the cost of living crisis that's going on, I would imagine. Another thing I've noticed is, that's very timely as we're just approaching one, is the cost of petrol and diesel here. It's even more expensive than the UK, which was quite an achievement, I would have thought. Although that's probably about as good as it's been. Obviously with the van following the tractor, obviously something to do with it, and its hazard lights on. Have no idea whether it's going to turn off or not, because I don't know where it's going. And it's going our way. Well, of course. No, it's not. No, it's not. Fab. Great, great, great. I think the Pont Du Gard, I nearly said Pont du Avenue, I was there day before yesterday, that was lovely, but the Pont du Gard is about 50 miles from Nîmes, I believe, where you have the Roman Colosseum. The Romans certainly left their mark everywhere. Bonjour. I know I'm of a certain age, but I always think of the Monty Python scene from The Life of Brian, where they're at some gladiator contest and they're having the argument, what did the Romans ever do for us? And they say, well, apart from running water, roads, central heating, a very advanced civilization. And then, like most expanding empires, it fell. Lots of plane trees in the middle of town, whatever town we're in, I have no idea. It's quintessentially French, I love it. When I was here many years ago with my friends John and Becky, when we rode down to the Harley Davidson 100th anniversary celebrations in 2003. We called them camouflage trees. We didn't know they were plane trees, and with there being no internet at the time readily available on phones, etc., we couldn't just look it up. But plane trees, and I think of them as camouflage trees. I don't think they have milk floats in France, but if they did, I'm sure we'd get stuck behind one of those shortly. A milk float following a tortoise, following a snail, probably. Also, I have no idea what river we're passing over. That's nice boat. Maybe it's the same river, the River Gardon. Oh, look at that, stunning. Another citadel or castle up on the hill. So many of them around here. It fascinates me that all those years ago, I'm not in the same any country, but all those years ago, I managed to build such big structures. I can remember visiting Egypt as a 15-year-old on a school trip, some school trip I can tell you, but on a school trip visited Egypt and seeing the pyramids and just having my mind blown by it. But this is beautiful. You really think we're back at Saint-Tropez again? How nice. Seem to like the markets in Provence area as well. All the market squares, aptly named, because the market seems to spring up once or twice a week, selling all manner of local produce, and also some of them selling the kind of touristy tat you'd expect. Oh, very old Sportster. Is it Panhead? Don't know. I've had a few Sportsters in my time, but they all had the Evolution engines. I had the 883, also the 1200s. Also had my share of Road Kings, and the last Harley I had, which I got rid of to buy this GS, was an old 25-year-old Electroglide, which was very, very nice. But I found I didn't use it for 4 or 5 months of the year because there's so much chrome, and with the UK roads being covered in salt and it being so awful over winter, it just stayed locked up in the garage, and I thought, this is ridiculous. I like to ride all year long. And so what I've done is swapped to the GS, and I have ridden all year. This is a bit more like it, a bit of open country road. I'm sure this will be the River Gardon. We are nearly there. It says we are there in 0.2 of a mile. Didn't tag for the day. I've got to pay as well. Well, we have arrived. €9 to park a motorcycle. That's quite outrageous. I'm sure it will be worth it though. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.